We're going to walk through a more complicated example, but hopefully it's an example that will also help you think about how you could use this on a daily basis. Probably most people do things with PowerPoint on a regular basis, or you have to do it every once in a while on a regular basis, and you don't necessarily like it because you have to go and create all these PowerPoint slides. Maybe you are doing sales or marketing, and you need a way to take in the latest data and add it into a PowerPoint presentation. You need to do some visualization, and you need to put all this together. I have to do things like this all the time, and so I think this is a great example of the power of using Code Interpreter to build out workflows for ourselves to help us, accomplish different daily activities, either in work or life, whatever it is. So we're going to start off with uploading. I'm going to take a PowerPoint presentation that I created as part of my Vanderbilt initiative on the future of learning that talks a little bit about the Future of Learning initiative. But the idea behind this is I'm going to pretend that I have some data that I need to visualize and incorporate into that PowerPoint presentation. So I'm going to say, I'm going to need your help creating some data visualizations and inserting them into this PowerPoint presentation. I will upload the data next. So I start off with that, and I upload the PowerPoint presentation directly to Code Interpreter. Now the next thing that we see is it basically has gone through and it says, I see that you've uploaded the PowerPoint presentation. However, we still need the data that you'd like to visualize. Please upload the data file as well. And so then I go through and I say, please create 4 visualizations of this data. And I upload the CSV file for some fake marketing data, some sales data, whatever it is you want to call it. And we see Code Interpreter going through, and it's interpreting all this data. It's pulling out all of the different columns. And I could have gone at this point and visualized anything I wanted. You can imagine that you're going and you're doing fourth quarter sales or whatever it is, or looking at competitive analysis with your closest competitor, trying to do something interesting with it. You could go and do whatever you wanted. In this case, I don't have any particular ideas behind this thing, so I'm just going to go and say, create 4 interesting visualizations. You, ChatGPT, and Code Interpreter, go figure it out and do something for me. And it goes and creates 4 visualizations for me. They're not the most exciting visualizations ever, but they're good. There's visualizations of the data. It gives me basically 4 things: total sales per year, average quantity ordered per year, all these things. I could have gone and told it exactly what I wanted, but all I wanted to do was just get some visualizations. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I'm going to tell Code Interpreter, I'm going to say, now please insert each of these visualizations as a separate slide into the presentation. Please start inserting them at the second slide. And so it goes and takes all these visualizations and it inserts them. And you notice right here now, I've got a link where I could download the updated presentation. So it's actually gone and built all the visualizations, and now I've directly inserted them into the slides. Now I could have stopped there, but when I do it, I get some visualizations that don't have much text to them. I just get some graphs, and maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want to just go with the stock that comes out of there, just one visualization on a slide. You could certainly do that. But what I did is I got a little bit more complex, and I said, update the slides to include some narrative text next to each visualization as a text box. The text should be on the right-hand side of the visualization, and the text box size should set to approximately 1/3 the width of the screen, and the text should be word wrapped. The colors of the text should match the visualization of the color scheme. Now I'm getting pretty explicit at this point, and part of the reason for that is I've learned some things. Like, you want to ask it to word wrap things. You want to kind of tell it how to lay things out. Sometimes it can randomly decide a layout that makes sense, but a lot of times it doesn't really work. So when you get explicit about how you want things positioned visually, colors, styles, font sizes, it can be helpful. So it goes through and it updates the presentation, the new one. It gives me the download link again, and I looked at it and I realized that, the problem with it was my title slide and then the slides that came later, the color schemes didn't really match up. It was using all of this text and colors that really didn't match what I had in some of the imagery. So I just ask it, please extract the first slide of the presentation as an image and extract a color scheme from it. So the very first slide of my presentation has this big colorful image on it, and I want it to just go look at that image and then choose a color scheme from it, which is what it does. So it goes and extracts the image from the first slide, builds out a color scheme from that image, and then gives me all the colors to use. And then it also tells me I could download the extracted image, which I don't actually care about. All I care about is getting it to use those colors. So I go and update the instructions, and I say update the narrative for each visualization to be 24-point and randomly choose one of these colors for either the background or the text. If you use one of these colors for the text, pick the best contrasting color from above, or white is the background. The visualization should be 0 inches from the left side of the slide. The text box should be 9.5 inches from the left side of the slide and 3.75 inches wide. I'm not going to lie, I had to do a little bit of experimentation with these numbers to figure out, when I'm thinking about laying out PowerPoint slides, how to explain it to it and how to get it to work well. And this works well and gets me the format that I want. It then goes through, does some more updates, produces our updated presentation, and the beautiful part about it is, then I can download it, and here we go. Here's a sample of one of the slides that it's generated. It's taken our PowerPoint presentation, it's added in the visualization, it's put the text on the right-hand side, and it's still not perfect. There's some things like right here where we have the text is overlapping a little bit with the visualization. But hey, it's not bad, and I could fix that problem pretty easily, or I could go think about how to improve my prompts and my description to it to get it so that it didn't overlap. But the really beautiful thing about this is once I figured out kind of the language and how to describe it and the process for going through and doing this, I could very quickly go through and update these slides with new data visualizations. And the key thing here is we're combining multiple information sources. We're combining a PowerPoint presentation with some data, we're transforming the data into some new visualizations, and then we're putting it all together into a totally new output, which is this new PowerPoint presentation that we want. So you can go and mix and match different contents, do some analysis, visualization, transformation, and then weave it all back together into some product that you can download and go and use.